What's up, Star Wars fans? My name is Prince, and I'm an urban acolyte. I'm looking to be your #1 source for Star Wars news as we head into the Han Solo film and Star Wars Episode 9 in 2019. But anyway, this particular Star Wars chat, Star Wars update, whatever we're calling this crazy thing that we're doing here at our Urban Acolyte TV, is an update to the story that I ran. I don't know if anybody else on YouTube ran it. We all dropped the ball, myself included, and that is the story that ran regarding Rey saying no to a romance with Poe Dameron. Now, I ran the story as Rey says no to romance in episode 9, and people said, well, why did you put Kylo Ren in the thumbnail? Because she was only talking about Poe Dameron. Well, I assumed that she was also talking about Reylo. And I hate to break it to you, Reylo folks, but it turns out that my assumption was correct. So shout out to, I think it was Rey Dameron, who commented in the comment section of that video early this morning, which made me get up and start to do some research. I looked at, she gave me something that was a continuation of or additional information from that interview that Daisy Ridley did with Mtime. I think it's Mtime magazine, or this is some source, some media place in or news outlet in China, right? And so I started digging. I found a bunch of Tumblr posts. Someone on Tumblr they said, this is Mandarin. Can you translate it? I traced it all the way back to the Chinese website who did the interview. And I was wondering all along if this is coming out of interviews that Daisy Ridley did in China. Well, the Asian marketing for for The Last Jedi, it heavily featured or heavily teased the relationship between Kylo Ren and Rey, that storyline, how they were being paired together, and could there be something more to what was going on, right? Everybody was telling me, Prince, you need to look at the South Korean posters back in November and early December. So, how come none of us put on our thinking caps, our critical thinking pants, and ask, hey, if this is coming out of China, where all this Reylo stuff was kind of being teased in the marketing, well, why wouldn't she be talking about Reylo? And that was the assumption I made when I did that video. And like I said, it turns out that the particular question that Daisy Ridley was asked that we see in the video that everyone reported, yes, she was being asked specifically about Poe Dameron. But what she said prior to that, the question was, Rey finally meets Poe Dameron in the movie. Daisy Ridley says, yes, we finally do meet. And Luke Skywalker says, Mark Hamill asked, really, they hadn't met before? And Daisy Ridley says, in fact, in The Force Awakens, we did have a scene where we met. That was in the novelization. So that scene did get shot. It was probably in the early version, right? Finn is in the coma back on the Resistance base. Poe Dameron is in the Millennium Falcon with Rey. They all go off to Octu. That's what we see in the novel, which was based on an earlier version of the script. Possibly things were shot. Well, it sounds to me like things were shot. So in addition to Finn's lightsaber scenes being cut from The Force Awakens, Rey and Poe's meeting, and Rey likes his face, and that frames the context of Daisy Ridley's comments regarding a relationship where she specifically mentions Poe Dameron, because the next question is, the last time they met, it appeared that there was love at first sight. Do you think that it's still possible? Meaning, now that we've seen them meet, that same meeting from the end of The Force Awakens that was cut but was left in the novelization, now we see it in The Last Jedi. Do you still think that there's the possibility of a romance? And there goes Daisy Ridley's comments, regarding that particular relationship. But you guys are like, Princess, what about Kylo Ren? What about Reylo? What did she say about Reylo? So before the questions about the meeting with Poe Dameron, the possible relationship with Poe Dameron, was there love at first sight, right? She was asked about Kylo Ren. And the question was, a lot of fans support Rey and Kylo Ren becoming a couple. Daisy, do you think it's likely? Her response is not at all. It's that simple. The Last Jedi gave me a different feeling. The audience's view of Kylo Ren will change. Rey thinks that Kylo Ren can be redeemed, and she understands him. I'm glad that they can come to this kind of understanding, but in the end, Kylo Ren is scum, so I think, and then Mark Hamill jumps in, he says he's misunderstood, he misses his father. And Daisy Ridley says, look, Kylo Ren's just lonely, so I think I can understand why fans would think this way, but I don't support it. So what do you think, Reylo fans, or anybody else who said, well, she didn't say anything about Kylo Ren. She said it now. She says that, look, Kylo Ren is a lonely dude, and Rey in her journey discovers why he is lonely. She feels sorry for him, and she feels that maybe now that she understands his pain, that maybe she can get through to him and bring him back to the Jedi, bring him back to the light, make him the new hope in the galaxy. So all this, I thought in the turbo lift that, hey man, she really looks like she might kiss him, right? The people, Prince, you're blind. It's obvious. There's an obvious note to Reylo. Well, it just turns out that Kylo Ren's a lonely dude. A lot of you Reylo fans see he's a lonely dude. You feel for him. Rey, the character, feels for him. Daisy Ridley feels for him, but she says he's a lonely dude, but at the end of the day, he's still scum. So I don't know. The whole we think Reylo's being teased and Rian Johnson put Reylo in there. It really just comes down to we're acknowledging that this guy is just a lonely dude. Lonely, I am so lonely. I have nobody for my own. So I don't know, like, what do you guys think? Daisy really she doesn't know what's coming in episode 9, but she said no. If there's any intimate things going on between Rey and Poe Dameron, it'll be his friends. Kylo Ren is scum. He's a lonely dude. I feel bad for him, but he's still scum. He killed his father who loved him. He almost killed his mother. And we have no idea what's going to happen with Leia. Rian Johnson has kind of said that there's still, the door's still open for Kylo Ren to be redeemed. And, at this point, I really feel like the Reylo folks are just grasping at straws. Well, Reylo is still going to happen in 9. Kylo Ren is going to sacrifice himself to save Rey. Even though he told Luke, I'm going to burn it all down. I'm going to burn down the resistance or the rebellion that you think you've started. I'm going to burn down the Jedi. And if she's the last Jedi, then I'm going to burn her down too. That's what he says. Now, I saw somebody, there was a Reylo person they're not going down without a fight. So what about the rest of you Reylo folks? What do you think about Daisy Ridley saying that, hey, I'm not even on Team Reylo? And don't give me that, oh, well, Daisy Ridley says she's not even coming back for after episode 9 because that whole thing was taken out of context. So, scratch that argument before you even started, right? So if you guys see anybody that commented that in the comments, they didn't watch to the end of the video, so nobody cares what they have to say because they're killing my watch time. But anyway, like I said, what are your guys' thoughts on Rey and these relationships? No to Rey and Finn, no to Rey and Poe, and definitely hell no to Rey and Kylo Ren. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and click on that subscribe button so that you can take your first steps towards becoming an urban acolyte. Embark on the journey of becoming the hero of your own story and become a force for change in your community. Continue to support the channel. You can do that by checking out the last news story from Wednesday because I didn't do a video yesterday. Of course, this is a follow-up to that video, but you go ahead, watch it anyway. Or you can check out this other video. I think it's the Sith Inquisitors playthrough on Star Wars Old Republic, where we hang out and have Star Wars chats and play some video games. Anyway, that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching. Y'all keep on breathing, and may the force of others be with you. Always. You know what? The videos are over here, Why am I pointing over here? The videos are right there. Watch that video, damn it.